My son has autism. He's 6 years old, and I'm just going to talk about the recent announcements by the U.S., by the White House, about their findings on autism and my personal opinions. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. And first of all, I'd like to say, I'm very thankful and happy that somebody is taking this serious to where there's some focus on it. So RFK, President Trump, okay, absolutely wonderful. People are finally trying to get to the bottom of this. So I absolutely applaud their efforts. RFK is, me and him think alike. So don't think that what I say is going against anything that they're doing. I'm very thankful. First of all, what they're saying is that Tylenol given to pregnant women early on in their pregnancy is a cause. I'm going to say a cause. I don't know if they use the word a cause, the cause, but anyhow, there is a link between pregnant women taking Tylenol early in their pregnancy and autism. So I'm going to start with that part, and then I'll address the treatment that they're talking about, leucovorin. Okay, I do not think that women taking Tylenol is the absolute smoking gun. This is the cause of autism. I don't believe that. Is it a contributing factor? Can it be a contributing factor? Certainly. I haven't seen all the data. I haven't seen any of the data. I just listened to their announcement. Actually, I just read it. I didn't listen to it. I just read a paragraph. So if they're going to push the narrative that, hey, Tylenol is the smoking gun for autism, I don't think that's correct. That's not the smoking gun, and here's why. All right, in the 80s, we all took Tylenol. Everybody took Tylenol. Where were the autism numbers in the 80s? Okay, number two. Okay, I live in the Philippines right now. Everybody here, if somebody has fever, what do? Okay, you go get tempura, paracetamol. That's what they do. Why don't we have the numbers of autistic children here in the Philippines? Now look, most people here can't afford higher level care or any other medications. They can't afford to go to the doctor. So I don't know what the numbers or the sales volume of paracetamol is here, but you ask anybody, okay, somebody's got a fever, paracetamol. That's the solution. So why don't we see the numbers here? I think if that was the smoking gun, you would see more autistic children here in the Philippines than in the United States. So I think they need to keep digging. Maybe they've started pulling a thread, then they go on down the rabbit hole, and maybe they say, okay, it's not exactly acetaminophen, it's not exactly Tylenol, it's something in the manufacturing process. So, maybe they start looking at another drug and they see the link there. Again, I'm not, I'm all for what they're doing, but I just don't think that's the smoking gun. We need to keep going, keep investigating. Because there's so many other toxins that we put into our bodies now that we didn't put into our bodies back in the 80s. The same with anybody, pregnant women included, at all phases of their pregnancy. So that's that. Number two, do I think women should take any medications during their pregnancy? No, because any medication or vaccine that you take during your pregnancy can potentially affect the development of that child. I don't think you should take nothing. Okay, I don't take any medication and I'm 52 years old and I'm in pretty good health. And I think you know why? Because I've never taken any medication. The only thing I put in this body is beer and alcohol, right? And I'm still doing pretty damn good. The worst that I've taken voluntarily is antibiotics. Why? Because I lived a crazy lifestyle of partying and occasionally you catch the clap. There you go. Reality in real life ain't always pretty. Contrast that to some of my family members who were taking 12 to 13 different medications a day. All right, so back to the autism. Leucovorin is, I've seen some of the data on that, which looks very promising, everything I've heard about it. So it's a good thing that they've taken note, and I guess now if you're in America on Medicaid, you can get that covered by Medicaid or what have you. So I'm looking to get my hands on some Leucovorin and see if that helps my son. A lot of you out there listening to my voice have sent me, well, on a regular basis, I get emails from you fine folks out there about, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I certainly appreciate it, because a lot of things that y'all have sent, I wasn't aware of. So I dig into it for a little bit and I'm aware of it. Have I tried all of these remedies or drugs or everything out on my son? No. Because in my eyes, there's nothing wrong with him right now. So why do I want to sort of use him as a guinea pig when science, doctors, and to an extent government should be doing this research themselves instead of old single dad and Dr. Google and just trying out different things. There's nothing wrong with my little boy the way he is right now. And so it's one of those things where I think if I just, at some point, if the good Lord is willing, at some point they will unravel this. They will unravel this and they will come up with the best treatment modality. Or they'll figure out that you have hope that at some point they'll figure it out. So there's no reason to use my kid as a guinea pig. That's just the way I feel about it. So I'm aware, I'm tracking, I'm listening to the research. Right now, folinic acid, known as Leucovorin, is the only thing that I'm willing to give to Forrest G to see if it has any benefits to him. And you know, now that they've made the announcement a little more official, things are going in that direction. Okay, I'm willing to give that a try. Now, with all that said, let me come down with my guard up. My guard is still up. Why? Folks, if you believe anything that any government tells you, you're very naive. And I mean, some of us knew that before the lockdown and this pandemic shit that went down. But just a few short years ago, we realized that we can't trust governments with our health. We can't trust pharmaceutical companies with our health. We pretty much got a wake-up call. And don't ever forget that experience. I will never forget that experience. So with that said, am I trusting anything that's coming out of the U.S. government and the medical field? Still don't trust you. I used to be a paramedic. I had a lot of trust. Had a lot of, too much trust. Had too much trust in medicine and what you're supposed to do and the vaccines you're supposed to get and blah, blah, blah. Hell, I was in the medical field. I had to go along with it. Didn't know any better. You thought people that didn't want to take vaccines were nutcases. Well, I thought that too. Until you you lived through some different experiences. Having an autistic child. Living through a fucking archaic lockdown where people are trying to force you to put poison in your body that's it's not tested. So I don't trust not nobody. Not nobody. I'm going to sit back and let them take the beach, kind of, you know, just kind of peek and see what's going on before I pull the trigger on anything. They could come out today and say, hey, we got a vaccine that cures autism. I'm not bringing my child to the clinic to get a vaccine to cure autism because I don't trust you. Maybe in 5 years, if everybody getting the vaccine is still okay, there's no long-term effects, don't trust you. And I'm gonna give you a secret. You know, he's sitting there crazy, right? Okay, you can say that I'm a vaccine injured. I was vaccine injured as a child myself. Okay, now look, I don't got exactly a Hollywood smile. You know, I get comments all the time. I love it. Keep them coming. Man, you need to brush your teeth. Your teeth are yellow. You need teeth whitening. Blah, blah, blah. Bring it on. I love it. I eat that shit for breakfast. Okay. Back in the 70s, they used to give children tetracycline. This was before they realized that if you give a child tetracycline while their permanent teeth are still forming, it will cause a discoloration, cause them to be yellow with a dark band. It's called tetracycline banding. They didn't know that when they gave that shit to me when I was probably 3 years old. Anyhow, somewhere in there, I had my tonsils out, so I'm assuming that's when I got dosed with that shit, or multiple times. They didn't know what they didn't know. They know now. You can't give tetracycline to anyone whose permanent teeth are forming, or this is what you get. So, from a dude who's went through life affected by a medication that they didn't know that what they didn't know, and now I have an autistic child who I believe is autistic because of an MMR vaccination. So let me just come out. I don't believe it's from Tylenol. My belief is that it's from an MMR vaccination. I have videos of this child from day one. I was around my son 24 hours a day. He got that MMR vaccine. That's when we started noticing a change. And if I sat down, or anybody wants to research it and go back and watch these videos before, around the time that he had it, after, well, maybe you'll disagree with my assessment, or maybe you'll see the change yourself. It's a lot of hours of video to go sift through. I can't do it. Like I've talked about in a previous video, I held that child while he got that shot, so I feel responsible. That's my belief. It's from an MMR vaccine. Is it specifically that vaccine or something in the vaccine during the manufacturing process? You know, one of the additives, I'll buy that. But that's just my opinion. So, again, I applaud their work. Keep going. I support them 100%. But the initial conclusion is not the smoking gun. They just need to keep going. Because if they don't do it, once this administration gets out of there, who's not afraid to buck the system and go against the pharmaceutical companies, big money. Once they get ousted, then it goes back to everybody falling in line and following the fucking dollar. And I'll leave this talk with my thoughts on vaccines. This is coming from folks. I've had so many vaccines put in my body throughout the years. My God, But my thoughts on vaccines now for my children. Now, when they turn 18, they can do whatever the hell they want. I mean, when a kid turns 18, they're an adult. Whatever age that a government classifies them as an adult, well, they can do what they want to their own body without my consent because they're an adult. But as long as they are children, under my care and custody and my decisions, you will not come at my children with a vaccine. If you come at me or my children or my crew with a loaded syringe, I will look at you like you're pointing a loaded Glock 22 at me or my children. Syringe equals gun. Don't do it. And again, when they turn 18, when they can do whatever they want to, it's their bodies. But as parents, realize that we are the ones making the decisions for these kids because they're not making it on their own. And the weight of that responsibility is heavy. Trust me, it's heavy. So, vaccines, medication, use it sparingly and only when absolutely fucking necessary. And the culture in America is what? You go to the doctor, you come out of there with 2-3 prescriptions. Because they're all in the same business of making money, right? Trust me, you can live without most of the medication that you are prescribed or we give to children in America especially. So there you go. That's my stance on everything. You might disagree. Probably a lot of y'all disagree. I disagree with my younger self. But especially after the lockdown, how are you going to argue with me to say, oh, trust the government, trust the pharmaceutical companies? Don't trust either one. For good reason. Never will. That's what I got to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this before I get too crazy or too emotional. Say something that gets this video limited ads or not safe or whatever, right? Just don't let your guard down. Don't say, oh, okay, they figured out the cause of autism. It's Tylenol. Tylenol bad. Get that out of the house. Don't take Tylenol. Okay, it's safe to go back to taking these vaccines because now the government said it's not the vaccines. It's Tylenol. Don't fall for that logic. Don't fall for that logic at all. Keep your guard up. Go to the doctor starts offering vaccines. He's a salesperson. He's a salesman. He's trying to sell you something. Nope. You go here to the doctor especially, they're trying to sell you something because they're making money. Always trying to sell you a vaccine. Nope. They don't like to hear that because they don't make no money. Oh, Tylenol bad, the vaccine, go, everybody's okay, everybody go back to taking your vaccines like the government says. Ain't gonna happen. It's like my dad said, back there in that lockdown shit. He said, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die soon enough as it is. I don't need the goddamn government's help to help me speed up the fucking process. Think about that. Need the government to tell me what to put in my body They're not trying to get you to live longer. They're trying to speed up the process. They don't got to pay you that much Social Security. Don't need your help. Okay, all right, I'm out of here. Thanks for listening. Leave your thoughts, comments down below. Thanks to everybody who sends us emails. Hey, look at this, look at this. Keep them coming, because a lot of the ones you send I didn't know about, I don't know about. And so you bring things to my attention, and I certainly appreciate it.